Proverbs uses women, different kinds of women, to characterize values. And the value of chachma, the value of wisdom, is characterized in the words of the final chapter. And I can't let this moment go by without, just listen. I won't read the whole thing. The hearts of all trust in her. She opens her hand to the needy and extends her hand to the poor. She is robed in strength and dignity and cheerfully faces whatever may come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She tends to the affairs of her household. She does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband and praises her. Many women have done superbly, but you surpassed them all. Wherever people gather, her deeds speak her praise, and that's just what we've done for the last hour. I couldn't let that go by. I want to say thank you. Because Sara was an inspiration to me, and I know the same for my wife. It meant so much to me. You know, when I would finish a drasha, and I would always see her in the Kiddush, I could expect one of two things. She would either say, that was a good drasha. That meant it was okay. But once in a while she would say, that was a wonderful drasha. And I don't think that there is a rabbi on earth who could be more proud of himself or herself than having Sara Schafler say, that was a wonderful drasha. Because no one knew better than her. And those moments, those comments will stay with me all the days of my life. One last thing, and you began it, but you didn't finish. That's okay. Ever since the state of Israel, the Jewish people have a day to remember people who have devoted their lives to Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, the people of Israel and the land of Israel. We have this one day to remember those people who died for that love. Do you think it was a coincidence that Sara Schafler died on Yom HaZikaron? On the day that everyone who died for Am Yisrael and Eretz Yisrael, she is included. When we say, her soul should be bound in the bond of life, it's with those souls. That's unbelievable. But, and I want to speak to the grandchildren for 1 minute. Zecher, Zachor, in Hebrew, is not what it means in English. In English, to remember means an act of mental recall. In the Torah, it doesn't mean that. When the Torah says, Zachor et Yom HaShabbat, it doesn't mean remember an old-time Shabbos. When it says that we should remember, Avadim Ayinu L'Far B'Mitzrayim, we remember that we were slaves in Egypt. It doesn't mean just to pull up a mental image. Whenever the Torah uses the word Zecher, it refers to an action born in a memory. And if you want to characterize your grandmother's life, it was the truest meaning of Zecher, action born in memory. Don't just remember, be inspired by the memory, grow from the memory, do from the memory. Her life was devoted to that, and yours will be too, because of her. Tehi nishmatat tzorah b'tzorah chayim. May her soul be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. Before we say Amalei Rachamim Kol Seth, I want to acknowledge the presence of my colleague Rabbi Monasov, past presidents of the Westchester Jewish Center, and also to distinguished Rabbanim, to distinguished rabbis who are here, including, and I hope that I have not missed any, but please forgive me in advance if I have, Rabbi Al Thaler, Rabbi Morgenstern, Rabbi Axelrod, Rabbi Exler, and Rabbi Waxlack. We appreciate the presence of so many distinguished rabbis at the service today. Would you please rise?